Hello and welcome to my video. So today's video is going to be all about Empress Matilda, the Lady of the English's great escape. But why did Empress Matilda need to escape in the first place? Empress Matilda was probably born on the 7th of February 1102 in England. She was the only legitimate daughter of King Henry I of England and his wife Queen Matilda of Scotland. In 1114, Matilda married Henry V, Holy Roman Emperor. But in 1125, Henry V died, and in 1128, Matilda married again to Count Geoffrey V of Anjou. Now, Matilda wasn't the only legitimate child of King Henry I and Matilda of Scotland. She had a younger brother called William, who was the heir to the English throne. But William tragically died in the White Ship disaster in 1120. So now there was a succession crisis going on in England. So Empress Matilda's mother Matilda had sadly passed away just before William was killed. So her father married again in the hopes of being able to have another son. But he didn't, so King Henry asked the barons to recognise Matilda as his heir, and they agreed to do so. But after King Henry's death in 1135, Matilda's cousin Stephen seized the throne of England, and the barons turned their loyalty towards him because, of course, Stephen was a man and Matilda was only a woman. Now, Matilda was not happy about this at all, so she invaded England to claim her rightful inheritance. So there was this civil war between Stephen and Matilda, which has become known as the Anarchy. And during this war, there was lots of back and forth between the two. Matilda was winning, then Stephen was winning, then it went back to Matilda, and so on. Now, things did start to look good for Matilda in 1141 when her forces captured Stephen and imprisoned him. She was now able to proclaim herself queen, but before she did, she proclaimed herself the Lady of the English in preparation for being called queen. So even though she was technically rightful heir to the throne, Matilda faced some opposition. When it came to her proclamation of her being queen, not very many important people attended. And just before planning for Matilda's coronation started, the people of London rose up against her and she had to flee to Oxford. So after she reached Oxford, a hostage exchange took place. King Stephen was released and returned to his wife, who was also called Matilda, while Empress Matilda's half-brother Robert of Gloucester, who had been captured by Queen Matilda, the wife of Stephen's forces, was released and returned to Empress Matilda at Oxford. So Matilda stayed in Oxford Castle, and in 1142 Stephen besieged the castle. Matilda was trapped in this castle and she needed to get out. Now, just before Christmas in 1142, Matilda took her chance. It had been snowing, so covering themselves with white cloaks so as to camouflage themselves against the snow, Matilda and a couple of her men were lowered from St George's Tower in Oxford Castle using ropes. Quickly, she and her men crossed the frozen river and walked 6 miles through the snow to Abingdon upon Thames and safety. The next day, with Matilda safely away, Oxford Castle surrendered to Stephen's forces. Now, there are some questions as to whether how Matilda escaped actually happened, because different parts of it seem to appear in different writings as the years went on. And in some versions of the story, she didn't walk 6 miles, but they actually rode that far on horses. But whatever the truth about how Matilda managed to escape, she did actually manage to escape. So after Matilda did escape, the anarchy carried on for about another 10 years. Empress Matilda never got to be Queen of England, but a compromise was reached whereas Stephen would carry on being king for the rest of his life, and when he died, the throne would pass to Matilda's eldest son, Henry. Matilda returned to the Duchy of Normandy, where she spent the rest of her life. Once her son Henry became King of England, she acted as his representative in Normandy, presiding over the government. Matilda died in Rouen on the 10th of September 1167. So that was a little video about Empress Matilda's escape from Oxford Castle. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!